Well, it's a hot and humid one today, and that heat and humidity is sticking around through tomorrow, and it's also playing into storm development. Different parts of the state at different times will break down who has the best chance of storms, when, and how severe. So heat advisory for much of southern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities. Heat indices this afternoon well into the 90s to even near 100 degrees at times. In southern Minnesota, we got some pretty soupy dew points out there in the low to mid 70s, combined with afternoon temperatures warming up in the upper 80s to low 90s, probably right around 90 for much of the southern half of the state. Cooler with the clouds and some ongoing showers and thunderstorms scattered about in northern Minnesota. They're close to that cool front that's the focus for storms. But the heat indices today, yeah, close to 100, upper 90s to near 100 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be more of the same. Now, there's an asterisk with tomorrow. There's a reason they haven't extended the heat advisory into tomorrow yet, because we could have some morning showers or storms that might keep the temperatures down. But if we get midday sun, it's going to be very similar with that heat index close to the upper 90s to near 100 degrees again for the Twin Cities and points south and east. So we do have this frontal boundary draped across the Dakotas up towards about Winnipeg. And you can kind of see the showers, clouds clustered around that. And then we have several upper level disturbances to the west kind of moving up and over that front. So several different mechanisms, forcing mechanisms we call this, to allow for air to rise upward and create some showers and storms. So all these little X's, those are little, what we call short waves, or little upper level disturbances, those pockets of cool air generating instability, along with that surface front where you have air moving together as that cooler air is advancing south. So we're going to see more storms probably redevelop just to the east and southeast of that frontal boundary this evening into tonight. So clusters of storms on and off for the northern half of the state. And then some of that could wander into southern Minnesota late tonight into tomorrow. But I think the southern half of the state, other than an isolated storm, will largely stay dry. Now, one of the latest models of the RRFS model has produced a couple of these spotty storms in southern Minnesota, but difficult to see that going. It's humid enough where a storm could develop kind of anywhere at any time, but we are really generally capped here across southern Minnesota into Nebraska. This means the air 9,000 feet above the ground is pretty warm, so any air that tries to rise can't really get through that layer. Now tomorrow, as that surface front sags slowly but surely south and southeast, those mid-level temperatures also cool off too, so we won't have the capping mechanism tomorrow. So I think tomorrow is our best chance, tomorrow into tomorrow night, of more widespread storms. So this is tomorrow evening, and then into the overnight, waves of showers and storms with some lingering showers in southeastern Minnesota early on Thursday. Now again, this is the RRFS model, the high resolution rapid refresh model, showing a similar scenario, but again with that early morning activity potentially that the RRFS model doesn't have. But then again, late day storms developing ahead of that front here in southern Minnesota. But both models are a little different in placement, so anywhere in central and southern Minnesota tomorrow possible. But Storm Prediction Center also eyeing primarily northern Minnesota today. That's where we have that slight risk. Central into north central Minnesota, and then tomorrow the Twin Cities is in that slight risk, that level 2 out of 5. This is all along that front as it slowly is moving south and southeast. So I think tomorrow and tomorrow night, best chances for the Twin Cities and southern Minnesota for storms, but don't be totally surprised if one or two storms pops up today or tonight, just because of the humidity, and we have all these outflows from dying and redeveloping storms to the north. Plenty of energy tomorrow too, and we're gonna have to watch potentially for some tornadic activity tomorrow. Significant tornado parameter is a little bit higher tomorrow. Forecast soundings basically forecast three-dimensional view of the atmosphere is favorable for some possible tornadoes. Now the strongest storms, when we look at those updraft tracks tonight, northern Minnesota, but then tomorrow as that front moves south, we'll see those more intense storms potentially right over southern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities. So tomorrow into tomorrow night, we'll have to watch for that potential severe activity, possible high wind gusts. And then today into tonight, again, the better chance of that activity is further to the north. So that's why you kind of see two separate areas of the most intense storms. In addition, of course, some very heavy rain with all this humidity. Flood watch for much of northeastern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin this evening into early Thursday, because those are the areas that could see several rounds of showers and storms, whereas southern Minnesota, we're mainly looking at tomorrow night, but they'll get today, tonight, and tomorrow. So kind of a broad 1 to 3 inches of rainfall here for northern, east central Minnesota into western Wisconsin. And again, we got to look at some of the individual models to get hints at what some of those totals could look like. And some of the models, the high resolution models, spitting out more than 5-6 inches of rain. Don't pay attention to where, they're not good at that, but the idea is that there will be some spots that could see as much as 5-6 plus inches of rain. So that's why we've got that flood watch concern. But near 90 for the Twin Cities today, tomorrow, humid. So that heat index, 95 to maybe as high as 100 degrees. Again, our better chance of storms comes tomorrow. And then we decrease the cloud cover. We're going to see a little drop in humidity. Thursday, Friday, dew points more like the mid-60s versus the low to mid-70s. So still muggy, but not oppressively humid. And then the weekend's looking hot again. The humidity's back to near 90 degrees. Looking like that chance of storms is most likely late Sunday into potentially Monday. But we're in that pattern where the timing of these things could certainly change.